Hey, this is Ken with Lead Tagger, a Los Angeles-based digital marketing agency. So if you are a local business such as a dentist, you probably have been wondering how you can run Facebook ads to bring in more patients. Now, do Facebook campaigns really work? The answer to that is a big maybe, because it really depends on how well you set up your campaign. I'm going to be showing you exactly how I set up my campaigns for my local dentists and give you some tips on what you should be looking out for. And at the end of the video, I'm going to be showing you some performance data on how well my campaigns really work, so you can benchmark them with yours. So without further ado, let's dive right in. When you think about Facebook advertising, what do you really think about, or what do you see in your mind? You probably are thinking about a Facebook ad or a post, right? Similar to what you post on your Facebook profile. Now that's true, but there is a whole system behind that that is part of the whole Facebook advertising process. We call that the sales funnel. So yes, it does start with the Facebook ad. So this ad includes the text and the image or the video that's connected to it. Now, when someone clicks on the ad, it is connected to a landing page. Now, a landing page is essentially a one-page website that explains who you are, what you do, and what you're offering. So this is where you explain services such as implants, veneers, Invisalign, or any service that you're trying to advertise for. Now, the landing page is connected to a form. Now, this form is probably the most important part of the entire sales funnel because it acts as a capture of people's information that you are looking for in order for you to contact them and bring them in for a consultation. So when you build out a form, you want to make sure you have their name, their email, their phone, and any information that you need to qualify them and schedule an appointment for whatever procedure you're advertising for. Next, you want to connect an email platform with your form. Now, this is very important for a couple of reasons. The first reason is that you want people to be informed that their information was sent through properly. So you want a confirmation email, and you also want to leverage email to inform you and your front office that you have received a new form or a new lead. So when connecting an email tool, I personally use ActiveCampaign. I think ActiveCampaign is probably the most robust, the most intuitive platform that works really well for these Facebook advertising funnels. Now the next one is closing. So you want to get their information, have your front office call them and schedule an appointment, and when they're in your office, you want to close them and offer them whatever treatments that are best for their situation. Now, this is a lot of stuff here, but I'm going to be taking you step by step. So I'm going to first start on the Facebook ad. So we've ran hundreds of Facebook ads for different dentists across the country. Now, these are just some of what we've ran. Some secrets to the most successful Facebook ads are these 6 right here. You want to make sure your Facebook ad calls out your city. So whether you are in Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, you want to catch people's attention by calling out the city that they live in. You also want to call out a problem. So is it dental implants? Is it them wanting a more convenient, clean, and comfortable way for straight teeth? So Invisalign, for example. And you want to provide a solution to that. So are they always embarrassed about smiling, or do they want a better solution to braces? You know, the solution would be dental implants or Invisalign. You also want to add emotional triggers as well. So you don't want to bore people. You don't want people to read your ad and then continue to scroll. You want them to look, to stop, and to click on your ad. That's the ultimate goal. So you want to add emotional triggers to your ad via storytelling, through certain words, ask them questions, just to get them thinking a little bit. You also want to add some eye-catching images. So something that's bright, something that really reflects the services that you're offering, and even play around with video as well. Video has been growing every single quarter with Facebook. So test video. That's something that really resonates with people on Facebook. The last thing is test out emojis. Everyone uses emojis these days. It's not just the young people. Everyone is sending out smiley faces, hearts, so on and so forth. So emojis generally get people to look at your ad and click on it. So use emojis in your Facebook ads if they make sense. The next part of the Facebook ad campaign would be the landing page. Now, like I said earlier, the landing page is essentially a one-page website, and it's essentially information that you have on your service, and also information about you and your office. So some elements that you must have on your landing page are listed here. So you want to make sure you have a clear logo, make sure it's not pixelated, make sure it's not grainy. It should be clear and easy to read. You also want an emotional headline and a catchy sub-headline. So again, this is where you are pulling on people's emotions. You want to ask them questions, bring up some issues that they are facing, and you want to incorporate the solution for their problems. So if people are having issues with dentures, if they are ill-fitting, if they don't fit properly, you want to provide a solution, and that's the all-on-4s or the dental implants. You also want to include a bright call to action. Now, the call to action is essentially what you want people to do when they are on the landing page. So generally, it's either to have them click on a link, to fill out a form, to call you, so on and so forth. So you want the call to action to be bright, and you want it to be very easily seen on your landing page. Lastly, you want to make sure you don't have any links. So no links pointing to your website or social media or any other website that's on the web. You want people to stay on your landing page, and you only want them to click the call to action button. Now, when they click on the call to action button, it's connected to a contact form. Now, again, this is probably the most important part of the sales funnel. You want to ask them for their first name, their last name, their email, and their cell phone number so that you have this information to use when you call them to book their appointment. Now, you may be asking, this is great, but are the right people even going to see my ads? And the answer to that is yes, 100% yes, because Facebook is a treasure trove of various demographics of people who use the platform. So you can target any type of people here. So these are the best targeting options that you should use when you are building out your Facebook advertising campaigns. So you want to target 8 to 10 miles from your office. So if you are in Chicago, for example, you want to make sure you are targeting 8 to 10 miles from your office. You also want to narrow down the age range. So this really depends on what service you are offering. So if you are offering implants, you want to target people who are 40 and up. Because with implants, as you know, they generally skew towards the older age. So 40 and up is an ideal number. You want to pick a gender, and you also want to include detailed targeting if needed. So if you are advertising for veneers, you want to include detailed targeting for people who are interested in straight teeth, in that Hollywood smile, cosmetic dentistry, anything like that is relevant to whatever treatment you're offering. you want to include that detailed targeting on there. Now, once you have the targeting in place, what about the budget? So let's compare this with a traditional marketing avenue. Let's look at billboards, for example. So I found this pretty cool, funny, out of the ordinary billboard that I am sure they designed it this way with, with the zombie guy here. It catches the eye. This looks like this is on a side of a highway. So it's very eye-catching. There are a couple of things that can be improved. So this website here, it's very hard to read. When someone is driving down the highway, no one is going to look at this. Another thing is the phone number. It's so close to the logo here. When someone is driving 75 miles on the highway, no one is going to look at the website or the phone number. If people were to actually look at this, they probably would be in a ditch somewhere, crashed, right? Because no one's going to look at this, and it's expensive. So I pulled up 3 cities in the country. So how much do they cost? How much do these billboards cost? In Boston, you could be expected to pay upwards to $23,000 per month. In San Diego, up to $15,000. In Milwaukee, up to $4,000 every single month to have these billboards in place. Now, this isn't a digital format such as Facebook, so you are targeting everyone under the sun. So if this is on the highway, you are targeting, if you are running a billboard for implants, you are targeting 5-year-olds, you're targeting 20-year-olds, you're targeting 80-year-olds, you're targeting people who are probably not even living in the state or even the city that your office is in, right? Because they're on the highway, they're probably going somewhere that isn't that location. So it's not targeted and it is not measurable. You don't know how many people are looking at this, and you don't know how many patients are coming from this billboard. Now let's compare the cost to Facebook. So when we run our campaigns, we generally see $13 per lead. Now, what does that mean? That means it costs about $13 to $15 to have one appointment request. So if you were to invest, say, $1,000 per month on your advertising, that would bring you at least 30 patient requests every single month. Now you compare this to billboards, it's almost $30,000 per month for a billboard. But if you have a Facebook campaign that's extremely targeted, you can get 30 appointment requests every single month. So it's extremely cheap versus traditional marketing channels. Now Facebook, aside from the $12.82 cost per lead, Facebook is a beast. It's growing every single quarter. It's experienced explosive growth. The monthly average users crossed 2 billion at the end of 2017. So that's about 50% of internet users. So almost half of everyone who uses the internet is on Facebook. And that's even more in the United States. Everyone who uses the internet is on Facebook, believe it or not. So if everyone is on Facebook, you want to make sure you are on Facebook as well. So you are the 1% watching this video that understands the power of Facebook if you are watching this far into the video. So I congratulate you in understanding the importance of digital marketing, of social media marketing. I know I went through a lot today. If you have any questions, if you want to pick my brain a little bit, feel free to contact me. Feel free to leave a comment on this video. I'd be very happy to help you out and put you on the right track to success. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I look forward to working with you soon. Thanks.